Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are, another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m., 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 10 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. This is a show where we get together each week at this time, and we come along with a little fun and a little hot topics for you, whatever you want to talk about. And of course, this is a place where we meet each time. Now, you may be in a different time zone, so you may be someplace else. We're Eastern, so that makes us 8 o'clock here, and you're someplace else, right? Well, look at your clock, because that's exactly where we come on your air each week at this time. Okay. And you could be at work right now, because some people are on the other side of the world. It could be morning there and evening someplace else. But wherever it is, we thank you so much for being along. And wherever you are congregating right now, we want you to grab all of your friends and get them involved in the show too, as we get you involved in the show. Because for the people who've been here a long time, they know what it's all about. For those of you who may be new here for the very first time, this is how we operate. As the host of the show, I get to do this. What I'm doing now is setting things up, and while I'm doing it, you can talk to me anytime you like, even at this moment. All it takes is your keyboard on your computer, on your phone, or your tablet, or any other device that you may use to type in. I'll see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas, because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of opinions and ideas. And of course, I'm pretty sure you have a lot of them, and we want to hear from you. So anytime at all, you can do that right now. Tell your friends again about it, get them involved. Now, all of you are joining us for the first time. You ought to know we come on 3 different platforms. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And of course, any one of those platforms will get you there. You choose either one. We discuss the same thing because we're on live. We're originating from New York. That's where we originate from. New York City, that's where we're coming from. And no matter where you are around the world, I don't care where it is. We're right there. We're global. So anywhere you are, right there. So if you want to call a friend or so overseas, or a family member overseas, tell them to get involved right now. Providing you don't wake them up. They could be in the middle of the night over there. I don't know. But anyway, we're so glad to have you aboard with us. Now, for those of you who are watching us for the first time on Facebook, like I tell everyone, especially people who are watching us on Facebook, to take the time to tag this show to your friends right now. I know you have a lot of them, and all you have to do is just tag them. And when they see the tag, they know it's coming from you. And what they'll do, they'll click onto that tag, and it brings them directly to us right here on Facebook, right? That's the platform you're on right now, and that's where you'll get them involved in the show as well. Okay, and that's all it takes. So, and it doesn't take it doesn't take effort at all. Just tag them, and you can tag as many as you want. You know, if you can't tag all of your friends, maybe some, or select a few. And because the more the merrier. If they like what they see and they like what they hear, they'll come along again and again, just like you. Now, for all of my friends who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you, if you haven't done it thus far, this is the time to do it, is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All it takes is to drag your mouse over where it says subscribe right there. And all you have to do is put the arrow right there and click onto it, and that's all it takes. There's no money involved. You don't have to have a union card, union dues. You don't have to have permission from anyone, except maybe if you're under 18, your parents, of course. Otherwise, that's all it takes. So please do that right away if you haven't done it thus far. Now, you guys who've been with us for a long time, if you haven't done it, then shame on you, because you know better, right? And that's all it takes. So the reason why we want you to do that too is because of the fact we would like to keep up with all of you people who subscribe to us. We like to know who's out there following us, so you can be part of us. And the second reason is that now that you are a subscriber, from this point on, now that you clicked on that subscribe button, from this point on, every time we come on live, and you happen to, let's say, forget about the show, and when we come on live, you'll get an instant notification that is very visible to you. You won't miss it. And all you have to do is click onto that instant notification, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel. Okay, so that's the benefit of subscribing. So do that right away. Now, for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to do too much. As a matter of fact, just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. But take the time out to tell a friend and family about us. Let them in on the action too. Now, you guys on YouTube and Instagram, you can do something similar that the people on Facebook do. They tag their friends, and you can do something similar. And all you have to do, whatever platform you're on, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, cut and paste the platform, all right? Which we say the platform, but it's basically you're cutting and pasting the link. And all you have to do is send that link to whomever you want. And they'll see that link coming from you. They'll click onto that link, and it brings them right here. It's just as simple as that. So get involved, get everyone involved, and let them know that we're out here. We're going to be here, as I said, for a whole full hour, and in conjunction with interacting with you, we also do our little routine as well. We have sports coming up in this hour. As a matter of fact, in this particular half hour, we're going to call on Brian Camp, who's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. That's the name of his show, and there's a lot to talk about because now that we're getting a little more closer to knowing who may be getting into that Super Bowl or who has the chances, what it looks like. And I think Brian's going to give us the answers too. And speaking of giving answers, if you have any questions that's sport related, when Brian comes on, all you have to do is get him set up now. He'll answer all of the questions that you need or that you want. And if he doesn't have the answers to the questions, he will certainly get them in some form or fashion. So all of that's coming up, and we look forward to you being around with us. And when Brian comes along, you'll see him live as well as talk to him if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube. He's on the screen, and you'll get the chance to see him. Now, for you guys who are watching us on Instagram, that's not the case. You won't get a chance to see him. That's not how we're set up. We don't have the luxury to do that, but you'll still be able to hear everything he says, and nothing changes, and you can still ask questions as well, and he'll get the answers. He'll get the questions and give you the answers as well. So there you go. That's about it. So we covered all of that. And remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facilities. Okay? So there you go. And that covers all of that. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. Here we are. And like I said, it's Thursday, and we're at the 16th day of January. The 16th day of January. Now, yesterday was the 15th, which was the official day of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. And this weekend, as you know, we're going to get a long weekend because the observant day of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday is going to be on Monday. So if you didn't remember that, well, I'm reminding you now, and maybe you're one of the ones that have the luxury of taking off Monday, off that holiday. So if you are, you have a long weekend. And then when you come back, you have a short week. Isn't that nice? So we look forward to that. And we'll talk more about Martin Luther King's birthday as well, and other things that you want to talk about. If there's anything in particular that you want to talk about, please feel free. Let us know what it is. I mean, I'll throw out the information or other kind of topics or anything like that, but you can chime in, and anything that you want to talk about, anything goes. Okay, we talk about anything, just as long as it's clean. That's what we're saying. Okay, so we look forward to talking to you, and we will greet you personally. And I see people coming in, but we do not acknowledge people unless they're talking out of respect, because some people, they want to watch the show, their names pop up, and I see you, and I see who's out there, but I won't acknowledge you unless, of course, you have something to say or you acknowledge us. And this way we can rope you into the conversation. But if you don't worry about it. We won't bother you. Just sit back, relax, and watch the show. And we hope that you can stay with us for the full hour, or if not, whatever time that you can spare with us. We really would appreciate that. Okay, but we hope the case is that you can hang out with us for the whole full hour. Okay, and this month, all this month in January, of course, you already know we talk about certain things and we figure it out. We look at the calendar and see what's available or see what's doing in the month of January. Now, we see that this month, this whole month of January, we are acknowledging, and I say we acknowledge it, and we do it very seriously around here. We acknowledge National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Now, all month long, we talk about that. Doesn't have to be a particular month to do it, but this is a month that's set aside to acknowledge it. And because you've heard it on TV, this is real stuff. This is real life. This is not something that only you see on the Lifetime movies, but it's in real life. You have human traffickers, and a lot of people come along and try to enslave people in that form of fashion. It could be sexual trafficking or whatever. And it's sometimes with men, women, and children, which is one of the reasons why I want to talk to people who are much younger. If they're there right now, we'd like you to know that you guys go on the internet, and we hope that if you're under 18, your parents are with you right now. That's what we look forward to. But even if you're at the age of 18, at least you have the sense enough to know that when you get online, you don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers online. You get online and you can talk to your friends. They once had what they call the chat lines or the chat rooms. I'm not so sure even if they do have them, I don't know if they're still available for social. But if it is, what you want to do is stay in a chat room that's with the people of your peers, and make sure that because you don't see anyone in the chat rooms. In most cases, you don't, unless, of course, they have the video ones now you could see. But make sure you know who you're talking to, and don't give out personal information, personal data, or anything else like that. Keep everything to yourself. Just socialize, but please do not talk to strangers unless you know who they are. And that's one of the things that promotes this human trafficking. They go online and they try to seduce people, like I say, men, women, and children. All right. So that's it, and the better way is not to even get involved in chats anyway. I don't think they're as safe as they used to be. It was a big thing back in the 80s and 90s, but I don't know so much today. All right, just take my advice and do that. Okay, so that's National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Also, if you so inclined, you can donate blood. You have the National Blood Donor Month. That's what we're acknowledging as well. And you can go to your doctor first off to make sure that you're okay to donate blood, because we want to make sure that your blood is good enough to donate. And when you do, either you can do it through your doctor, or maybe he sends you to a blood bank or someplace where they donate blood. But it's best to go online and research it yourself. Find out where the nearest blood bank is in your area, or consult with your doctor and they'll give you that information. Also, it's National Religious Freedom Day. Yes, indeed, today. And everyone, if you're religious, we celebrate whatever religion that you indulge in. It doesn't matter. It's everybody's right to have their own religion. And even if you're not religious, some people never set a foot in a church or a synagogue, but they could be spiritual. But that's what today is. It's National Religious Freedom Day. And of course, that's the freedom and the right to choose who you would like to worship, and who is your God and your religion, whatever you practice. Okay, so that's what we got going today. And certainly you can't make this one up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know it by now, but here it is. It's at the end of the day here for us here in New York. But it's National Fig Newton Day. Did you know that? National Fig Newton Day. I can't believe it. So, let's celebrate it. Have a Fig Newton. It's delicious. I haven't had one of these in a long time. You darn tootin', you like Fig Newton. You darn tootin', you like Fig Newton. In case some of you guys are too young to remember that, That was an old commercial jingle for Fig Newtons back in the 50s. So those of you who are younger, pay no attention to that. But yep, can't make it up. National Fig Newton Day. Okay. Again, thank you so much for being along with us here on the coffee hour. Now that's tomorrow. Talkback Live is tonight. And stay with us for the whole hour. We hope that you do because we're going to have a lot of fun. Okay? Okay. Okay, Sam Moore. Sam Moore, one half of the 1960 duo Sam and Dave has died. The late singer, best known for his hits such as Soul Man and Hold On, I'm Coming, died last Friday morning in Coral Gables, Florida, due to complications while recovering from surgery. His singing partner, Dave Patter, died in a car accident in 1988. The soul and R&B duo performed together for nearly 2 decades, starting in the early 60s, best known for their high energy and gospel infused performance. And the duo became an influence for a number of artists, including Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, and many, many more. Moore was 89 years old. Leslie Charlson, known for her role on General Hospital, has died. The daytime Emmy-nominated actress portrayed Monica Quartermain on the soap opera for nearly 50 years. She began working on the ABC drama in 1977 and appeared in more than 2,000 episodes, and she was the longest tenured cast member on the series. She was 79 years old. Okay, it's time to get started. As I enjoy my Fig Newton, it's time to get started right now because we're going to call on Brian Camp at this time. This is his time to shine. He's our sports guy, so he's here. He's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. So again, those of you who have any questions for him as far as sports related questions, feel free. He's going to have all the answers. So Brian, while I enjoy my Fig Newton, because this is National Fig Newton Day, it's your time to shine.
Sure, why not? I'll let you chow down on that, and you could enjoy yourself on that, Big Newton.
My doctor will kill me if he saw me do this.
He might be watching now. He
Indeed.
might be watching now. You never know.
Indeed.
Listen, if the government could watch us from outer space, who knows, you know? So
It's like that episode in the Twilight Zone. Remember that episode that was called I can't remember the episode's name, but all of these people were going out thinking people from outer space, and their neighbors. Oh, that they were kept pointing at each other. They were neighbors.
right.
There were people actually watching them, and they didn't
Yeah.
know. Anyway,
That's a scary thought. Yes.
scary thought.
Well, good evening to everybody out there who's listening, or good morning to some, wherever you might be in different parts of the world, around the globe and nationally and locally. It is, I'm coming from Charlotte, North Carolina, where it is presently 42 degrees. The high today was 54. I know it's cold in some parts of the United States here and around the world. After all, it is winter. I say that all the time, but it's been a pretty calmer week than it was last week. We had these here fires in Southern California. Um, we don't know the extent of how worse can it get, but what they're still doing is they're still bracing for another wind that may be coming by out there. So our prayers and thoughts are with the people in Southern California. It's not just in LA, but in the entire region of Southern California.
Yeah, I
So
heard in some parts of California, Brian, before we came on the air, they said that in certain areas the wind died down, but like you say, they're going to pick up again.
it's supposed to pick up again, yes. So we just don't know when. But in the meantime, we're just gonna just keep on and try to move on. Well, it's that time of the year. The playoffs are getting deeper, deeper into closer to the Super Bowl, and here we are. We got the final four. Not the well, it's the final eight. Basically, we got two games on Saturday and two games on Sunday. Saturday game, January 18th. You get the AFC divisional playoff game. That will be on ESPN at 4:30 as the Houston Texans travel to the to play against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then at the second game would be at night on Fox at 8 o'clock, the NFC divisional playoff game, where the Washington Commanders are going to be playing against the Detroit Lions. Both the Chiefs and the Lions are the top seed. They are just coming off a bye. And then on Sunday, we'll conclude the weekend dramatics here of the playoffs. The NFC will start first on Sunday. It's their continue their divisional round on January 19th at 3 o'clock on NBC and Peacock. So you can catch those games on there. You know, they got to keep, say, NBC and Peacock because they're related, but Peacock is a streaming service. NBC is just the regular network. Well, the Rams are playing against the Eagles on NBC and Peacock, so it's going to be playing more. I think what they're trying to do, they're just trying to set you up, you know, to buy the live stream programs and everything as well. And Sunday evening, the AFC divisional playoff game will end the weekend on January 19th on CBS Paramount. Just like I said about NBC and Peacock, it's the same thing with CBS and Paramount. They are tied together, which will be the feature game, might be the best game of the week. The Baltimore Ravens will be traveling to Orchard Park, New York again. They will play against the Buffalo Bills. So those are the four games. It's going to be exciting, I could tell you that. Now, the winner of each game in their own respective conference will meet the following week for the AFC Conference Championship and the NFC Conference Championship. So we're all set. Um, some sad news in the NBA world. Gus Williams, who passed away at 71, was the point guard for the Seattle Supersonics. He was led them to their first championship in 1979. He's the older brother of Ray Williams, who used to play for the Knicks. So don't know the extent of his death. In Major League Baseball, you probably heard by now, Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, known as Mr. Baseball, the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, transitioned at the age of 90. Yuko was best known for his colorful comedian and broadcaster who earned his nickname, Mr. Baseball, during one of his numerous appearances on Johnny Carson, the late night show. He used to appear on there. And after a short Major League Baseball career, Bob Uecker got his big break off the field in comedy. Yes, as he opened up for Don Rickles at the Al Hurt nightclub in Atlanta in 1969. Now, Al Hurt, who's a famous musician, was so impressed with Bob Uecker, he became a frequent guest on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And Uecker launched his TV acting career in 1986 on the ABC sitcom called Mr. Belvedere that ran for quite a while. Bob Uecker played the character Harry Doyle in the two movies of Major League in 1989 and then the sequel in 1994. He was diagnosed with lung cancer back in 2023. But Bob Uecker was a man that cracked a lot of jokes while broadcasting games, and he still called the games, but he also had an acting career and was a comedian as well. He'll be missed. This day in sports, in the January 16th, 1952, the U.S. Standard Board clears Dan Musial to get an $85,000 salary. 1963, Bill Russell's MVP for the 13th All-Star Game. In 1966, Chicago is granted an NBA franchise to be called the Bulls. 1970, Kurt Flood files a civil lawsuit challenging Major League Baseball reserve clause. 1970, NFL realigns into 3 divisions, down from 4. 1972, Super Bowl 6 at Tulane Stadium as Roger Staubach wins Super Bowl MVP. I remember that game. I was like, how old was I? I was 10 years old watching that game. Not quite 10, but I was watching the game. I was like, that's why I became a Dallas Cowboy fan. 1981, Leon Spinks is mugged. Not only was he was mugged, his assailants took away his gold teeth. Yes. He really didn't have teeth in his mouth. But when he was able to put teeth, he had gold teeth, but he was robbed. So his assailants decided, well, we're gonna take everything. Let's take his teeth out, his gold teeth. So that's he stayed toothless for a while. 2019, the Golden State Warriors breaks two records. They shot 10 three-point plays of field goals and scored 51 points in the first quarter. Let me say that again. The Golden State Warriors broke two records by shooting 10 threes from the arc. They have a three-point line, and they scored 51 points in the first quarter. It's amazing. Birthdays today, 1910. Happy birthday to the late Dizzy Dean, Major League Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher from 1934. World Series MVP, was born in Lucas, Arkansas. Happy birthday, 1969 to Roy Jones Jr., four-time division champion, was born in Pensacola, Florida. Happy birthday to Don McLean in 1970, NBA forward born in Palo Alto, California. In 1980, Albert Pujols, first baseman, fourth player to ever hit 7 home runs, was born in the Dominican Republic. And in 1985, happy birthday to Joe Flacco, NFL quarterback, Super Bowl MVP in 2013, was born in Alberborn, New Jersey. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
You got to be really desperate to pull out somebody's gold teeth out of their mouth if you need money.
He was flashing it.
Yeah.
Flashing it when you on TV and they watch like I reported last week, athletes are being targeted, their homes are being burglarized
Yeah.
because these fans know when they're away. They know that when they're not, home, they out on the road performing. So
But you hold up a guy. I don't condone anyone holding up anyone and stealing from anyone, but
I know, but they took his gold teeth though.
open up a guy's mouth and pull out his teeth.
Exactly.
Boy, well, Bob Euchre, yeah. I saw that information today. So many people passed away this week. Well, not so many people, but I'm reading. I look at everywhere around, just like the two that I mentioned, Dave, Sam Moore of Sam and Dave, and the soap opera actress from General Hospital, and also Peter's last name, Peter Yarrow from the folk singing group Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Mm-hmm.
But he died like a week prior to past Tuesday. So he died like on the 7th of January. But sometimes this information comes out later than it's supposed to. You would figure, in the age of social media, all of this stuff comes out immediately. I guess they choose who they want, what's more important. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Euchre. Yeah, he had a talent, though. He had a talent. I didn't look at him too much as a baseball player. I always looked at him as a comedian, more comedian than he was a baseball player.
Well, he had a very short baseball career that did not go well.
Yeah,
So I guess he wanted to go in the entertainment business.
and it worked for him. It worked for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sure it did. Yeah.
um,
Um,
but then he got a chance to. Did he work for as the announcer up until that point, up until his death, or
back in 2011, he had heart surgery, and within a couple months, he went back in the same season, he went back to work.
Mm,
He he just was always busy. He always called baseball games, but he also had a night he was a comedian and had an acting career too as well.
mm,
So yeah, I mean that's his first love is baseball, Major League Baseball, and he's an honorary member of the Baseball Hall of Fame too as well.
mhm, mhm.
So he had, I mean, when somebody lives at 90, you know, I know I guess the magic number is 100 to many people, but 90 is it's just a wonderful life,
Yeah,
all these years.
yeah.
So
And we talk about a Super Bowl, which is going to be taking place in New Orleans on February 9th. I think it's February 9th.
I it would be the February 9th, I believe.
Yeah,
They're gonna, as you know, what happened a couple of weeks ago with the terrorist attack, they're
yeah.
gonna beef up security even more. So expect um extra security for that Bourbon Street because that Bourbon Street is live. I mean, I don't know who's been down to New Orleans. I've been down there quite a few times, and it's that place is just popping. It's nonstop.
Yeah.
So a lot of tourists is coming in. A lot of for the Super Bowl week it's the whole week because that's leads up to the Super Bowl. It's just that not only for that one game, but it starts on that whole week, that Monday through that Sunday.
Mhm.
So it's going to be really, really booming. With the nightclubs and the restaurants. And, I mean, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, the fun is taking out of it a lot of things, and today's times where no one is safe anymore, people are afraid to go out, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and the fun that you look at places like New Orleans and when they have Mardi Gras, what is Mardi Gras? It's like every year, right?
Is Mardi Gras is usually around coming up around February and March, and
Yeah.
then you have the Essence Festival, which is around the Fourth of July weekend. That's the one that I used to tend to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You meet a lot of celebrities, but Mardi Gras is a little bit wild. It's like anything goes. Men kissing women, women kissing up men. They don't even know them, but that's what Mardi Gras is all about. So.
Yeah, and then some of the girls they put on the show too to earn their beads, right?
Yeah, they earn their beads, they pull up their tops, and pandemonium breaks loose. But that's with the alcohol mixing into it as well too. So,
Yeah.
I've never been to Mardi Gras, but Mardi Gras is really crazy too, wild and crazy. Mhm.
And like I said, the fun is not there as much. People are watching their backs. Even now, like when we got into the new year on New Year's Eve, people go to Times Square and they're kind of like looking behind, looking behind their backs.
Exactly.
It
Yeah,
wasn't like that years ago. I mean, people come out to have fun, and you didn't have to worry about it. You go to your hotel and then come out the next day and you party all night again.
that's it. It's just, they talk about Vegas is like this, but New
Yeah,
Orleans is a little bit different setting. It's not as well, it's just about, but Vegas is much broader and bigger.
yeah,
Uh, it's a longer strip. New Orleans, Bourbon Street is just that street, Bourbon Street.
yeah.
And it runs from where the convention center at all the way down. So it's just that one or two streets that just takes you all the way down. And there's a club on every block
Mhm.
of your choice, whether it's heavy metal, country western, R&B. There's a club in everywhere.
I've never been there. I gotta make an point to put it on my to-do list to go to
Yeah, I mean, it's just
a
it's
lot of
just
fun.
just great. It's just crazy, crazy in a good way, and crazy sometimes it could get out of hand as well too.
All right, well, listen, what do you got going tomorrow?
Don't really know. I'll find out in the morning. Everything is up in the air right now with me for tomorrow. But either way, I'm going to send something. If I am able to get out what I'm doing, I will come on. I will let you know.
Mhm. Well, okay, we'll look forward to that. Either way, you're covered.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, so you have a good night, and we'll talk to you then.
All right, everybody be safe out there and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, take care. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. There's a possibility that he will be here tomorrow, and I keep my fingers crossed because I hope that possibility is in the favor of him being here, because I always look forward to chatting with him, and I know you guys do too. You come out here and bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. And as you already heard, the Super Bowl is already set. They already have their date set up. It's a matter of who's going to go. And we're going to have to learn that. We're going to have to find out who is going to go. I would love my Minnesota Vikings to be there, but it doesn't always happen, But who's going to go, we will find out. We keep up. We got a lot of games coming up this weekend, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you will be looking forward to that. And so we'll see what happens. And New Orleans, New Orleans is going to be a big party. The Super Bowl comes to New Orleans, and people be partying on Bourbon Street. Going to be a lot of fun. I just hope that everything is safe and there's no casualties or any crime or any assault. I just only wish that the day today would be like it was a long time ago. Now, I'm not bragging. When I was growing up as a kid, I was a party animal. I had a good time. No one got hurt. There was no statistics. Everybody went out on the town. They had a good time. Some people overdid it, drinking and things like that, but it was never, shootouts or anything like that. People had a good time. And, unfortunately, it's not that way anymore. People have to watch their backs wherever they are, even though they come out to have a good time. And I'm pretty sure that's difficult to go out to have a good time, but at the same time, watch your back. That has to be an uncomfortable feeling. Has to be. But people still go out, and I'm not so sure. And I said this many times before. They used to have a lot of clubs now, especially in New York. We had clubs all over the place. Dance clubs, jazz clubs, all of these clubs. And I don't know if they have the dance clubs for the kids anymore. But they were fun. They were fun. So I say to you, if you guys are going to go out on the town at any time, do it safe, watch yourself, be careful out there. It's not like it was before. Anyway, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're talking live to you. If you want to talk live to us, we really appreciate it. We'd love to talk to you, and we will acknowledge you if you have anything to say. And again, you can still ask your sports questions if you haven't done so. And I will relay all of those questions to Brian, and he'll answer them in the morning if he has the time. And you can do that. But we're glad to have you along with us. And again, please feel free, whatever little time we have, pass it along to your friends. If you're watching us on Facebook, take the opportunity now to go onto Facebook and tell your friends. And how you can tell your friends, you can tag the show to your friends, and they'll see the tag coming from you. They'll click onto that tag, and that's basically it. They'll click onto the tag, and then it'll bring them right here to us. And you guys who are watching us on YouTube and Instagram, you can do something similar, okay? You could just cut and paste the platform that you're on. That's the link, and pass it along to your friends, and they'll see it, and they click onto that link, and it'll bring them right to where you are. It's just as simple as that. Anyway, we thank you so much for being along with us. And I think it's that time right now, I think it's about that time. As a matter of fact, it's time to go back in time on this day in history. And on this day in history in 1938, the first jazz concert held at Carnegie Hall was performed by Benny Goodman and his band. On this day in history in 1941, the War Department forms the first Army Air Corps squadron for Black cadets. On this day in history, 1944, General Eisenhower takes command of Allied invasion force in London. On this day in history, 1949, KNBH, which is now KNBC, a TV station, Channel 4, that's an NBC station in Los Angeles, California, had its first broadcast. And 1949, on this day in history, WTOP, which is now WUSA TV Channel 9 in Washington, D.C., a CBS station, had their first broadcast. On this day in history, 1962, shooting begins on Dr. No, that's the first James Bond film. In 1963, Los Angeles nightclub and music venue Whiskey A Go-Go opens, and it was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006. In 1965, The Outer Limits last aired on ABC TV. Also in 1965, The Searchers' Love Potion number 9 peaked at number 3, and this was a cover record done by The Searchers. They covered it for the Clovers, who did it back in 1959. On this day in history, 1973, NBC presents the 440th and final showing of Western series Bonanza. Back in 1979, Donnie and Marie Osmond's musical variety show premieres on ABC TV. In 1976, Peter Frampton releases his platinum live album, Frampton Comes Alive. Back in 1988, George Harrison's single Got My Mind Set on You. It tops the Billboard charts. In 1991, the 6 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees included Laverne Baker, The Byrds, John Lee Hooker, The Impressions, Wilson Pickett, Jimmy Reed, Ike and Tina Turner, Howlin' Wolf, David Bartholomew, and Ralph Bass. In 1995, UPN, which is the Universal Paramount Network, begins telecast on WWOR in New York. Actress, singer Ethel Merman was born on this day in 2008. She was born in Astoria, Queens in New York. She died February 15th in 1984 at the age of 76 years old from brain cancer. And in 1917, on this day in history, comedian actor Buddy Lester was born in Chicago, Illinois, and he passed away in 2002. In 1934, soprano singer Marilyn Horn was born in Bradford, Pennsylvania. She's 91 today. She's still alive and living. In 1942, R&B blues singer Barbara Lynn, who made the big hit back in the 50s, You'll Lose a Good Thing. She was born in Beaumont, Texas. She's 83 years old today. In 1943, country singer Ronnie Milsap was born in Robbinsville, North Carolina. He's 82 today. In 1944, singer-songwriter Jim Stafford was born in Eloise, Florida. He's 81 today. Film director John Carpenter was born on this day in 1948 in Carthage, New York. He's 77 years old today. In 1950, dancer, choreographer, and actress Debbie Allan was born in Houston, Texas. She's 75 years old today. In 1959, singer Sade was born in Nigeria, and she's 66 years old today. In 1962, R&B singer Maxine Jones of En Vogue was born in Paterson, New Jersey. She's 63. In 1973, actress Josie Davis was born in Los Angeles, California. She's 52. Model Kate Moss was born on this day in 1974, and she was born in Croydon, Great London, England. She's 51 years old today. And in 1999, General Hospital actor Steve Burton was born in Sherry Gustin in Dana Point, California. In 1942, actress Carol Lombard dies in a plane accident at the age of 33 years old. In 1969, composer-songwriter Vernon Duke dies of lung cancer at the age of 65. In 2000, jazz pianist Gene Harris, he dies of kidney failure at the age of 66 years old. 2007, actor Ron Carey, who played on Barney Miller, dies of a stroke at the age of 71. In 2007, Pookie Hudson of the Spaniels, who did the hit Goodnight, Sweetheart, Goodnight, dies of cancer at the age of 72. In 2012, musician Jimmy Castor of the Jimmy Castor Bunch died of a heart attack or heart failure at the age of 71. And 2014, actor Dave Madden of the Partridge Family, who played Mr. Kincaid, dies from a heart and kidney failure at the age of 82. And finally, music producer Phil Spector dies on this day in 2021 at the age of 81 years old. He was born December 26, 1939, and he was born in the Bronx in New York City. So that's what's happening in entertainment. And of course, we want to send our greetings, whether they were alive or they're still alive or they're no longer with us. Happy birthday. We do remember you. If you're not here, we still remember you and salute you and acknowledge your birthday. Now, those of you who would want to try to get in touch with us, we would like you to do that because a lot of people, they watch the show, and I understand they watch the show and they just want to watch the show without getting involved. And that's good with us. We're okay with that. The most important thing is that we have you out there. But for those of you who would like to get in touch with me, you could do that. And I have two means of doing that. I have an email address and a telephone number, which I like to pass along to you. And what I'm going to pass along to you first is the telephone number. Now, the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. You can call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. It's always there. It rings off the hook, but someone will pick it up. You can leave a message and let us know what it's all about, and we will certainly respond to that. All right. That number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, the email address. All right. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. That's a very important detail, because if you don't spell it right, or you don't spell it that way, if you email me, it'll never get to me. It has to be spelled right. Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for Productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Anytime you like. And when you get in contact with us for any reason, you can call or email us and let us know that you were watching the show. And you give us your opinion about the show, critique us. We do welcome that. Or if you have any ideas that you would like to implement or have us implement in the show, we will certainly listen to you. Maybe there's a certain celebration that you would like to get out there. Maybe it's your birthday or whatever it is. Or even if you just get in contact just to say hi, it doesn't matter. You're not wasting our time just to say hi, because we welcome that. Anything at all, get in touch with us and keep all of that information wherever you go. That's usually in your cell phone, right? If not your cell phone, you carry your laptop with you, and you can put it in your desktop at home or, whatever, but keep that with you at all times, because whenever you need it, it's going to be right there available to you. And all you have to do is just use it. All right. And please do that. Okay, so let me give you the email address once again. It's frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. The telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I will definitely look forward to hearing from you. Love to hear from you. Okay, as you already know, and we mentioned it early at the top of the show, that it's going to be a long weekend. We've got a long weekend coming up upon us, right? Because if you didn't know, it's Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. Well, we celebrated the birthday. His birthday was actually yesterday. But the observant day is this coming Monday. So if you are a hardworking person and you went through the whole 9 yards of this week's labor, look forward. If you have the luxury of taking the whole weekend off, you have a long weekend, that's the day. Now, you don't hear too much about it because on that same day, you have Inauguration Day. And that's why, and that kind of put a shadow over it. So I'm here to tell you, I'm not going to put a shadow over the late Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. And as a matter of fact, I am going to be concentrating that concentrating on that for that weekend. Concentrating because no one is talking about it. I have yet to hear anyone talk about it, even on the news, because everybody is talking about the inauguration, which is coming up, as you already know. Now you can spend your time concentrating on both, which I think a lot of people probably will be doing because they want to see what the outcome is going to be. And some people will do either one or the other, whatever your choice is. For me personally, I got to tell you, I'm going to do more concentrating on the celebration and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's what I'm going to be doing. Now, as I said, it's inauguration, and that's the 20th, and that's Monday. And at 12:01, we're going to get a new occupant of the White House. You notice I said new occupant because I that's as good as I'm going to get with that. So we're going to have a new occupant in the White House. It's going to carry us for 4 years. For 4 years. And as you already heard a story, you already know what to expect. A lot of people are nervous about it. Some people are terrified about it. Some people are welcoming the idea of it. And it's up to you. But that's what's going to happen on the 20th. Now, on the 20th, on that day, this is the day. That will be the day, ladies and gentlemen. If not yesterday or the day before that, that will be the day when we're going to really learn something. Okay, because that's the day, the first day, as they say, day one, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Day one, I'm going to be a dictator. Day one, I am going to let the people out who ripped up the Capitol building because they were patriots. Day one. And that will also be the day, if not that particular day, maybe a day after, the day after that, or maybe a week after, or a month after, you're going to learn whether you voted for the right person or not. And you're going to learn also, and I can say this without any conviction at all, you're going to learn also that no matter how you voted, all of us are going to be in the same trenches. All of us. You know, unless, of course, you're a billionaire. If you're a billionaire, then I guess you'll be okay. All right? You're going to be making more money. You'll make money hand over fist. Okay? But for those of you who think that you're going to do business, and maybe you have a small business that you think is going to be elevated because of what you voted for, I think you better think again. You're going to be in the trenches with everyone. And that's when you're going to learn, you know, was it worth it? Was my time worth it, or was my vote worth it? That's when you're going to learn. We'll see. That's day one, 12:05 on the 20th of January. That's Monday. We're going to find out what's going to happen. Now, if things doesn't go your way, if it doesn't go your way as you expected, as you thought it would go, don't go crying on anyone's shoulder. Don't do it. Because it was already told to you, it was already said to you what was going to happen. And the promises that were made may not even come to pass. For instance, one of the promises said about pricing, you know, food pricing. Food pricing is going to go down. This was before he was elected. Food pricing is going to go down, right? We're going to make sure that everybody's be able to afford a box of Cheerios or a dozen of eggs. That's going to go down. I was at the supermarket, what was just last week or week before, and I noticed in the egg section was like, usually when I can get them for maybe about $1.99 or maybe $2, the highest, went up to $4. $4 for 1 dozen. Okay. And over there, the price varies, but you don't know, maybe, you know, now that the new administration is coming in, maybe it won't be a great variation at all. We don't know. We'll have to see. But nevertheless, all of us are going to be in the same trenches. And you just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. As he promised you, prices are going to go down in food. But when November 6th came around, now the turnaround is, once you get the prices up there, they're hard to come down. It's just going to be hard to do. But you promised us. Yeah, but you can't bring down the prices once they go down. But you guys already knew that, right? Once prices go up, they don't come down. You may get a bargain or a sale every now and then. The prices go down, but then they go back up to where they belong, So when anyone tells you that the prices are going to go down, then you just can't believe that they're going to go down. Prices don't go down, So with that broken promise, is there more to come? And we'll see as we go along. So that's starting day one, January 20th. That's Monday. And that's the same thing, the same day as the Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, which is one of the reasons why I'm putting all of my concentration in the legacy and the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Now, you also know that all of the people who own the social media outlets, let's say from Mark Zuckerman, and he owns Facebook's one of the platforms that we broadcast on. He owns Meta, which is another platform that owns YouTube, not YouTube, Instagram. That's his baby too. And then you have X, which was known as Twitter in the beginning. It was bought by Elon Musk. And you heard the story that Zuckerman said that they're going to take out all of the fact-checking apparatus. Take that out. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you have to do now, when you post anything online, please fact-check it. Please fact-check it. Don't send out any kind of information unless you know the facts, because it all depends on you now. Now, as far as this show is concerned, we're on all of those platforms, right? We're on all three of those platforms. And I'm going to tell you right now, for the benefit of the audience who are here for the first time, we've been here for a long time, and we broadcast on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Now, with the changes that are going to go on Facebook, I don't know. Free speech is still in my bag, And this show, Talk Back Live and the Coffee Hour, I'm here to tell you, we're not changing a thing. Anyone has anything to say, we will say. We're not here to hurt anyone. We're not going to bend any knee. We're not going to kiss any rings. Well, that's another word of kissing someone's ass, because the guy doesn't wear rings. This pinky ring could fit through his whole hand. That's how they don't make rings that small. And so we're going to continue to do what we do. And if by some chance we say something that they don't like and they kick us off the air, then so be it. Because if we can't do what we do here, then we'll do it someplace else. But it will get done. Our job here will get done. Just so you know, we're not out here, we're not causing any problems. We're not out here causing any problems. But there's no bending any knees here, no kissing any ass. Not here. You could take that to someplace else, not here. Okay? And so, Godspeed. God help us all. I have one movie that I'm going to bring to you. It's called Raging Bull, back in 1980. Robert De Niro and Kathy Moriarty and Joe Pesci. It's on Turner Classic Movies, and you can check it out this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. It's the only movie I have this week. But you can go on Turner Classic Movies and check out other movies. Okay, check out other movies that may be available. Okay, something that you may like. Anyway, that's Raging Bull, and that's on with Robert De Niro, Kathy Moriarty, and Joe Pesci. Turner Classic Movies, and that's this Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Give it a shot. It's a black and white movie. I think you're going to like it. I saw it many times before, so check it out. Well, that's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to leave you now because I'm going to go home and get some sleep so I can be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. Hopefully, we'll be looking for Brian Camp to come in with the latest developments in today's world of sports. If not, we'll take care of it for him. And then you can meet us back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more Talk Back Live, Brian Camp with sports. And we're looking forward to seeing you again as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night. And we'll see you then.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.